Welcome to the Mariners post-game show, streaming live on King 5 Plus. And what a game tonight in Detroit. The Mariners take out the Tigers 8-4 in Game 3, and the M's are now just one win away from the American League Championship Series. We've got a lot to get to here. We're going to hear from Dan Wilson. Cal Raleigh had his 61st home run of the season tonight, but really the star of this game in Detroit was pitcher Logan Gilbert. He goes out there, he throws 6 innings, he scatters 4 hits, he gives up only 1 run, and he strikes out 7. Logan Gilbert, before tonight, had pitched in 1 playoff game in his life. He felt like that would be enough to give him some experience going into a loud, over 40,000 fan crowd packed place in Comerica Park tonight, and he got the job done. He silenced them right from the start. J.P. Crawford continues his strong series. He homered in this game. Gino Suarez also homered in this game. And again, Cal Raleigh hitting one in the 9th inning to just put the icing on the cake. The Mariners go into the bottom of the 9th with an 8-1 lead. The Tigers racked up a few runs against Caleb Ferguson in the 9th inning to make things a little bit interesting. But again, 8-4 the final as the Mariners take out the Tigers tonight. Here's Dan Wilson after the game.
And you've talked about all season just how the importance of creating lengthy at-bats and upping the pitch count can lead to good things down the road. 29 pitches against Flaherty in the 2nd inning, I think 26 in the 3rd. Just what'd you see out of your guys, especially in those first few innings there?
Yeah, we talk about it a lot, just a lot of, grind them out at-bats. And when you look at, Josh Naylor and what that at-bat looked like in the 2nd inning, 11 pitches, whatever it was, just grinding out, fouling them off. And that's, you don't see the immediate result, but you do see it later on down the line. And that's what I think happened tonight. I think some really good at-bats up and down the lineup tonight, using the middle of the field. Yes, we hit a couple homers, which is great. Gino getting on the board there with a homer. Cal the opposite way. JP's homer was big to get the run back after we'd given him up. But we also scored, conventionally, quote conventionally, and getting some guys on base, using the middle of the field. Cal going up the middle to get an RBI. Randy going up the middle. JP going the other way. Like just a lot of great at bats, and that's what it takes. And when these guys do that, that's their more consistent offense.
Dan, Logan was looking pretty strong still through 85 pitches or so. What was kind of the thought process, and as you weigh whether to send him back out for the 7th?
Yeah, can't say enough about what Logan did tonight. Just an incredible outing. Really had everything going. You look at his slider tonight, outstanding. His split was outstanding. Some good fastballs. You weigh both sides of it there. But like we've talked about in our bullpen, it's a solid bullpen. It's so deep. And at that point, you felt good about getting through 6 innings and turning it over to the bullpen, who did it again tonight. So, I think 85. This time of year, that's a great outing, and what he gave us to get through, a tough lineup. You gotta love getting that here, especially this late in the year.
Dan, a lot of people thought you might go with Logan Game 1. You bring him in Game 3 on the road, tough environment. Was that part of the thinking that he could handle this, given his stuff and his ability to strike guys out, and what did you see that made him so effective tonight?
Yeah, it was vintage Logan. I thought he attacked the zone. He got into good counts, you let the split and the slider do his work for him, and kept him off stride. It was vintage Logan, I thought, and to get that, like you've mentioned, on the road in a big game tonight after a long rain delay. I think you can't discredit that either. Able to come out and throw out an outing like that after waiting around for a couple hours is another feather in his cap. So he just he answered the call tonight, no question about it, and it was what we needed for sure.
And before the game, AJ Hinge talked about moving up Carpenter to that 1 spot, potentially set up you to have to make a decision maybe a little earlier. In that 5th inning when he comes up in that key moment, are you thinking about making any changes there? What was your thought process?
Yeah, you're always conscious of the matchups, especially this time of year, especially early in the game. You can't ignore it, and you're always thinking, and the way Logan was throwing the ball and continued to throw the ball, again, we talked about the split being somewhat of a neutralizer for him, and I thought tonight it was excellent.
Dan, you brought Brash in to face a different pocket of hitters than he's faced. Was that maybe part of the calculus, trying to not let guys get consistent looks at him? We didn't see Spire today, maybe trying to kind of limit guys' exposure?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, you look to set up guys that, for success and to find the best spot for him. With that, the game where it was at that point, felt like a really good spot for Brash to throw. And Matty came in, did a really nice job and attacked the zone again. Again, you got to give a lot of credit to the bullpen tonight.
Yeah, how important was it? Just at the first couple games, it was pretty much Julio, Cal, and Jorge doing all the work for you, but we saw kind of the depth of your lineup and what it can do. To get that sort of production out of the bottom of your order and get Gino going, how big is that moving forward?
Yeah, I think I think we're really clicking when you're going when you're adding those at bats up and down the lineup, and especially as you mentioned down at the bottom, JP, a big night, and being able to get that bottom of the order to get it back up to the top, and just some great at bats down there tonight, and some huge contributions. I thought, JP's homer there to kind of get us back, get that run back that they were able to get was big, otherwise, just continued offense tonight and adding on. I think that's such a big part of it tonight. Getting a lead, but also continuing to add on as the game went on, and that bodes well for us going forward.
With the rain delay, that can be difficult for Logan and starting pitchers and their routines and things. And there's even some uncertainty tomorrow with the game time. It depends on what goes on in New York right now. Does that affect the team? And obviously the last game being the toughest to win.
Yeah, I think it's playoff time, and you just got to be ready for anything, and these guys understand that. I thought they did a really nice job during the rain delay, just staying loose, but staying intense enough to come right out and get after it. And our guys just it's a great group, and tomorrow if it's early, we'll be ready to go early. If it's later, we'll be ready then too. But I think this is a team that's prone to make adjustments, and we've been doing it all season long.
We've seen Logan be so diverse with how he utilizes the slider and the splitter. We've seen him use it to get ahead, put it away with the fastball, vice versa today, where his main usage is with those pitches. Just how impressive or is that for in-game to adjust with those two specific offerings?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, he and Cal have worked together for so long and know each other so well. And you come up with that game plan prior to, you go out there and you see what's working, what isn't working. You see the adjustments that may or may not being made, and that's what you do. You make your adjustments, and I thought they, again, great game plan going out, great adjustments throughout, and Logan's execution was beyond report tonight. It just was a great job all around.
Dan, you're up 8-1. You probably didn't think you're going to have to go to your closer. How difficult is it having to go to Andres in that situation? And do you have a Game 4 starter?
Yeah, I mean, not ideal. You don't want to have to use your closer there, but I give Mooney a lot of credit for coming in there and slamming the door. Not an easy situation, and even with a runner on first base, I thought he came in and give him a lot of credit for slamming the door and getting us those 3 outs. And winning the ball game for us. And tomorrow Bryce Miller will be on the hill for us.
Anything else for Dan? All right, Dan, thanks for coming in.
Yep.
I hear Dan Wilson talking about Andres Munoz there. He comes out, he throws 9 pitches. Just seemed like light work for him. He went in there, he got the out, he got the double play. This game was over in a hurry. And talk about light work. Logan Gilbert, he threw just 85 pitches through his 6 innings of work, and he made it seem like it was light work at Comerica Park. And talk about the Mariners' performance in Comerica Park. They swept them in July. They came down here to start this thing off and hammered out 8 more runs. They are 4-0, unbeaten at Comerica Park this season. The Mariners very comfortable in Detroit, and it showed tonight. So an 8-4 win. They are 1 win away from the American League Championship Series. Logan Gilbert, certainly the star tonight. He came out and mowed down the Tigers lineup time after time. Here he is after the game.
Logan, I'm sure a lot of your life before pro ball, you were able to kind of get by with using your really good fastball. At what point did maybe you switch up your mentality to pitching backwards and pitching backwards so effectively?
Yeah, first off, I just got to say, glory to God. I couldn't do this without him. But it's kind of crazy coming in and basically only throwing a fastball in 21, and then learning the slider I have now and really feeling good about that. And there were times I actually feel like I've gotten away from fastball, so then kind of had to go back to that. But it was nice trying to work everything in there tonight, and Cal always does a great job seeing what's working, what we need to go to, so just try to follow his lead.
Logan, you've talked a couple times about, having the strikeout stuff, but just trying to work your way back to being able to go deeper into outings. Tonight, especially with it being a playoff game, did it really feel like vintage Logan Gilbert, so to speak?
I mean, I felt pretty good. The key is getting ahead, and honestly, I didn't do a great job of that. But after that, I felt like I was able to make pitches when I needed to. In a game like this, you just don't want to get deep counts all the time and beat yourself and walk guys. So I tried to just force contact, make them swing it, and defense played great behind me.
Logan, when Carpenter came up there with the traffic on, did you have in your mind an idea how you were going to attack him coming in based on what you'd seen from him already in the first two games?
Yeah, I wanted to get to splitter, and felt like he was tracking it pretty good, actually. And I mean, some of them weren't super competitive to him especially, but the slider worked pretty good, and thankfully got him on a fastball up too that we saw him hit a fastball up for a homer earlier in the series, but got it to a good spot today. So he's a great hitter. You got to make your pitches, and felt like I executed when I needed to. No, I mean, I always want to assume that I'm going to keep going, and it was still earlier in the game, but I know we have Gabe down there too, who's great against lefties, so you never really know how it's going to shake out, but just want to assume I'm always going as far as I can and be aggressive.
Logan, between your outing, Munoz slamming the door at the end, on offense, contributions up and down the lineup, just how much does that typify what the Mariners have become at this point and so many key contributors?
Yeah, it's a huge game, a lot of momentum, and I've been saying it for a while. This is the most complete team I've been on and seen. Our offense did amazing, gave me a good lead to work with there. JP, Gino, so good at baseball, and great teammate too. And Cal doing what he does, of course. So just having all those guys, such a deep lineup. They do a great job. Defense played great. So I think that's, like you said, it's kind of, I think, the game that shows how complete our team is.
Logan, JP's been here your whole time in Seattle, and even before that. What does he represent to this team? How important is he in sort of setting the tone for a guy who's been here a long time?
Yeah, he does everything. Like you said, setting the tone. He's the spark plug, a leader on the team, a guy that when he goes, the whole team follows, and he always plays great defense and gets us going on offense like that too, and just a great leader, vocal guy, all that kind of stuff. So he brings everything to the table, really.
With the rain delay messing up your routine, what did you do to stay loose?
Yeah, it felt like it took forever, especially before the game. You get kind of antsy, and we just kept going later and later. But it really wasn't too bad. I tried to assume we were about to play in the next 30 minutes and just keep doing that over and over. So I tried to stay loose, stretching, and throwing plyo balls and that kind of stuff. So not ideal, but really wasn't the worst.
Logan, you mentioned you went out trying to force contact tonight. What did you find effective in doing that?
Like I said, again, Cal did a great job. I think he knows other teams really well and what to go to. I was just trying to keep the ball down for the most part, and I think I did a pretty good job at that. A couple got away from me, but the slider down, fastball felt pretty good, trying to attack them. Like I said, I didn't get a ton of first pitch strikes, which I try to focus on, but after that, I felt like I did a pretty good job making pitches when I needed to. All right, thanks, guys.
You heard Logan Gilbert talk a little bit about the rain delay. Cal Raleigh said it right after the game as well. In that 3-hour rain delay, the players just kind of kept it cool, played some music, relaxed in the clubhouse, and just tried to just stay relaxed before this game would start because they knew they were going to get this game in. They just had to stay loose and have the right approach. The Mariners, in 4 games at Comerica Park in Detroit this year, have scored 43 runs. We talked about how comfortable they are in that ballpark, and it showed again tonight. So again, Gino Suarez had a big one tonight at home run, J.P. Crawford with a home run, and Cal Raleigh with his 61st home run of the season. That actually bounced up into the crowd in left field, and a man wearing a Dump 61 Here t-shirt caught it on a snag as it bounced back up into his seat. So he was a hero tonight to his friends, especially back here in Seattle. So Mariners, again, knock off the Tigers 8-4 the final. Here's more from the players after the game.
Gino, you began your career here. Your first major league game was here. What were the emotions when you hit that home run?
I mean, obviously it feels great, do something, here in Detroit where everything starts. But at the time, I just think about, my team and what we've been doing in this postseason, try to help my team win games, and not really think about doing here in Detroit or doing in, try to do something here in Detroit. Just, came here with the same mentality like every day and try to compete and help my team win the game.
What are your emotions, thoughts on being a win away from the AL Championship Series? First time in a long time for this franchise.
I mean, it feels great, but we've been battled all year long. It came to this point and be, one step closer for going to the championship, and we don't have doing the job done yet. We got to continue to play like this, and today was a great game for us, and like I say, we came here to win games, and keep forward and see forward for what the baseball got for us. I think that the Seattle Mariners deserve what we are right now, and the fans as well.
Gino, how was tonight kind of indicative of your offense and your lineup? For the most part, it had been Cal and Julio and Jorge the first couple games, but a lot of different guys tonight.
I mean, I feel like, these games and it's a little bit for everybody. Our first two games, it wasn't for me, and Cal and Julio did a really good job in the first two games. Obviously, you want to do something. You want to help your team, but it's not about one player, Sometimes you help the team to defend and base running or make a good play. Today, I mean, I got an opportunity to help my team. So that's my thing. That's what I thought every time. Like, come here, not try to be a superhero, take the moment and play my game and have a good at bats and see what baseball gave it to me or what Cap have in that day to me. Today, I hit that homer and I helped my team win games. I think that's more important for me and for the team too as well.
Gino, what does it do for this lineup when you have a hitter like J.P. Crawford who could bat ninth, with the kind of approach he has and the success he has?
I mean, I think like JP is one of the for us. He's been really good, both sides, defense and offense. You never know when he's gonna hit a homer like today. He always batted. He always got good at bats. He tried hard to make the pitching working hard. It's not easy out for him, And how those bat like that it helped the team a lot. When you had JP on the box and you always think he's gonna do something well, And today he did a really good job. He take a walk, he hit a big homer, and then he did a sacrifice. That's what how deep is our lineup right now. Is everybody can do something.
Did you know Miggy was going to be here today, Gino? Did you talk to him at all when he was here?
To be honest, I got one call today earlier this morning, and that call was Miggy. I didn't even know that. I knew it for a fact he might be gonna be here. He's a superhero here in Detroit. They love him, and I was really. I feel good when I see Miggy throw the first pitch tonight, and it's awesome to see him back and here in Detroit. I feel blessed that I share clubhouse with him and how he represents not only Detroit but Venezuela and Latin American and everything he do. It's very nice to see him tonight and throw the first pitch.
Gino, I was surprised when Meadows bunted. Were you surprised? And how do you stay ready for something like that that might be unexpected?
Like, you never know when they're going to happen. You got to be ready. You know, those kind of games is like that. I know I played a shadow a little bit because I know at some point he's going to do that thing. And he did it right there, and I was ready for that, for make that play, help Logan to stay close in the field, make outs. You know, that's the little thing that helped the team win games. So it feel good when you make those plays like that and you see the react for our team that it's a big out right there. So always got to be ready for teams like that. And today I was ready for that bunt right there. Sí.
You listen to Gino there. You listen to Logan Gilbert prior to that. Heard a little bit of Cal Raleigh in the clubhouse and some other players after this game. One thing is in common. They are staying focused. They know there's plenty of work to do. They are one win away from the American League Championship Series, and they know there's plenty of work left in this one. So focused, dialed in, and very much relaxed because they are very comfortable at Comerica Park. Chris Egan was at Comerica Park tonight. He joins us now live. Chris?
Yeah, Paul, the MVPs behind me, the grounds crew finally heading home after a very long day. Nearly a 3-hour rain delay. The Mariners players said, you know what, we came into this game 1-6 in rain-delayed games, but they were focused in the dugout. And this is, Paul, you mentioned it, this is a place they've been very comfortable playing. They've knocked in a lot of runs here. And let's talk about, first off, Paul, Gino Suarez, who we just heard on the podium right there. Take Gino Suarez and J.P. Crawford in games 1 and 2 of the ALDS combined. They were 1 for 15 coming into this game. Gino Suarez 0 for 8 tonight. J.P. Crawford 2 for 2 with a walk, 2 RBI. Gino Suarez 1 for 3 with a walk. So they were on base 5 times tonight. And the big theme in the locker room tonight, Paul, talking to Cal Raleigh, talking to J.P. Crawford, talking to all the guys, was it was a 1 through 9 effort tonight. We saw great at-bats from Victor Robles. Randy Arozarena had a pair of hits, and Cal Raleigh just continues to dominate. Number 61. He, Paul, right now is batting .462 in this series right now. And we talk about the Mariners being comfortable here, Paul. The Detroit Tigers, it's a different story. They have not won a game here at Comerica Park since September 6th. That is the last time they won a game here at their home stadium. I know the fans, it was interesting tonight, Paul, in this game. Early on when the Mariners got a couple runs, Cal had the RBI base hit, and Gino Suarez went deep. This place was dead silent. The media up in the media room were like, come on, Detroit, we got to get going here. But it was sold out. But the only fans you could hear on this night, Paul, were the Mariners fans. So a big night for the M's. And we also had the chance to talk with Bryce Miller in the locker room, Paul. And he says they've kind of planned on this all week long. So a lot of people were asking, would this be a surprise? Did it throw you off on how you prepare to start a game? And he says, no, this was kind of the plan all along, that he would pitch game number 4. And Bryce Miller, he's rested, he's ready to go. And one last stat, Paul's, I'm throwing a lot at you here tonight. Bryce Miller, pretty good against the Detroit Tigers. He didn't face them this year. He faced them twice in 2023. He faced them once in 2024. In 3 starts against the Tigers, Bryce Miller has not given up 1 earned run. All right, we are live tonight in Detroit. Paul, it's been a big night. We got a lot to get to still coming up tonight on King 5 Sports at 9, 10, and 11. So I got to get working. I'll send it back to you.
I'm looking forward to it, Chris. Yeah, Bryce Miller will get the start in Game 4. And you know, you talk about some other stats in this game and some of the things that the Tigers couldn't pull off. This is a team, by the way, that in the middle of summer had a 14.5 game lead in their division. And as Chris mentioned, they hadn't won in Detroit since early September, and they basically stumbled down the hill all the way into the final games of the season where they eked out a playoff spot and got to the playoff berth that they wanted, and they won on the road in Cleveland. One thing, they may struggle at home, but the Tigers are very good on the road in the postseason in the last 2 seasons, including this one. So they have a winning record on the road, and let's hope they don't have to come back here to Seattle with this thing locked up at 2-2. Here's J.P. Crawford after the game.
JP, we saw the emotion from you earlier in the season when you guys were in Detroit and pulled off the sweep. You've been here as long as anyone, or longer than anyone. How does it feel to be one win away from going to the championship series?
It feels great, but we just have to focus on tomorrow. You know, it's a big game and can't have any distractions with it. We got to be all in tomorrow.
JP, you signed on here a while back. What was sort of the vision that you saw for what this team could become? What was the plan that you signed on for?
This moment right here. You know, we had a good foundation, and I love the city. You know, we have a house up there. We stay up there. I love everything about Seattle. And now looking at this part of it, you know, this is great.
JP, just how emblematic was this game of what makes you guys dangerous at this point, where obviously it was Cal tonight, but it was also you and Randy and Victor, and it was just waves of guys offensively. How much is that kind of who you guys are at this point?
Yeah, we had a good day, 1 through 9, and that's the team that we are. You know, we create chaos, and, you know, we just keep the line moving.
JP, you played behind Logan for a long time. Don't make me laugh, you're killing me. You played behind Logan a long time. How much have you seen him, like, the competitor that he really is, the Walter aspect, when he gets out on the mound versus the guy you see in the clubhouse?
Yeah, he's a cold-blooded killer when he steps on the mound, and I think that's why his name's Walter. You know, it just sounds like a scary name. No offense to the Walters out there. But, yeah, especially you seen it tonight. You know, from pitch 1 to pitch 85 or whatever, he was coming at their throat. And, you know, you need that type of mentality in these games.
Anything else for JP? All right, go to Bryce. Terry? JP. You know, JP Crawford is a man of few words. He's all business. And again, we kind of talked about it in the postgame tonight in the clubhouse and at that podium right there. The Mariners know they have work to do, so they're keeping everything even keel until they get through Game 4 tomorrow night. Bryce Miller, you saw there, he's going to get the start in Game 4 in Detroit. So again, the Mariners take out the Tigers tonight, 8-4, the final in this one. We have much more from the players as we continue here on the Mariners postgame show. Cal Raleigh in the clubhouse after hitting his 61st home run of the season. Here he is.
Can we start with a little bit with Logan Gilbert, just what he did out there today?
Yeah, he was great. You know, he was really attacking hitters. You know, was able to limit, you know, the free bases. Give him credit. You know, gave him a few singles there early, but never wavered. Kept attacking hitters. Was able to mix, keep him off balance, and you know, made pitches when he had to there, and some tough innings there in the 5th.
Felt like the Meadows strikeout is what really got him going. Maybe he wasn't as sharp as he wants to be, but that Meadows strikeout, and then all of a sudden he got on his game. Is that accurate?
Yeah, no, he was. I thought he was good from, you know, pitch 1 tonight. You know, like I said, good single here or there, but, you know, never going to be upset with somebody attacking the hitters. So he did a great job, and like I said, made some really huge pitches when he had to. So.
You guys had a 3-hour delay before, obviously, a massive game. What did you do? What was kind of the way that you stayed locked in throughout that time?
Yeah, I think, you know, we were just trying to keep it loose. You know, music. You know, guys were hanging out, chatting, and trying to stay loose at the same time because we kept, you know, trying to get updates. So, you know, trying not to stay too stagnant. And you know, credit to the guys. You know, we came out, you know, ready to go from pitch 1, which was huge.
Thoughts on now having the advantage in the series and being 1 game away from the ALCS?
You know, obviously, you know, happy we got the win tonight, but, you know, job's not finished yet. You know, we got a tough road ahead of us. We got a tough pitcher tomorrow, and, you know, it's going to be a challenge, and, you know, we got to bring it tomorrow. You know, we can't take a game off, so we're ready, and you know, we're still hungry. So.
Your thoughts on Gino tonight, just what he did, you know, after tough games 1 and 2 hitting it, just how he hit tonight?
Yeah, Gino's great. Big time swing there. 4th, 3rd, I can't remember what it was, but you know, was able to slow it down. You know, didn't miss it there for sure. Didn't try to do too much, and, you know, really good swing from him.
You didn't miss yours either. Take us through that one.
Yeah, I mean, I was just honestly, I was trying to get the guy over, and was able to get extended a little more than I thought. So he's a tough, you know, sinker baller. He's got good stuff, and like I said, I was just trying to get him over and small thoughts, and, you know, I was able to get in the air.
Cal Raleigh talking about his 61st home run of the season. He hit it out in the 9th inning. It was a 2-run shot, and when it bounced into the bullpen, it bounced up to a Mariners fan who snagged it, and he happened to be wearing a T-shirt that said, "Dump 61 here," and that's exactly what happened. Chris Egan caught up with that fan after the game.
Okay, tell us about the shirt and just how you came with this design.
I made the shirt and the number 62 for after I catch the 61. I made it last week because I went to the final regular season game in Seattle, and this is just overwhelming. So I decided to fly out here and see if I could get one more shot, and it's unbelievable.
He hits take me through the home run, and then
yeah. So I told the lady next to me, I said, "Okay, this is my shot. He's going to hit me a home run right now," and it landed in the bullpen and bounced right up to me. I caught it in my glove, so it's like I'm still in shock right now.
So you had these custom made?
I made them myself.
You made them yourself?
Got the Cricut machine and made it at home.
Looked like the bullpen reacted.
They
realized what had happened. Did you have any interaction?
Yeah,
with them?
they were loving it. They were just all giving me thumbs up, like they couldn't believe it either. It's just
You were obviously in the
amazing.
first row of left field, which required a lot of power to go opposite
Yeah.
field. Did you think it was going to happen, or were you pretty surprised by that?
I was very surprised because when I went to Seattle, I got a ticket in right field, thinking I'd have a better shot, especially when he's batting left. But I found the first row there right behind the bullpen. I'm like, okay, well maybe he'll just knock a miracle one back there, and I guess that's what happened.
How impressed are you that Cal can follow directions as well as he can?
I waved at him when he came up. Maybe he saw me and hit it right to me. It was Babe Ruth over there.
We haven't asked, are you giving him the vault?
If he wants it, I'll give it to him. If he wants to sign it for me, I'll keep it.
How far up do these numbers go? Are you going to go to any more games? Do you
Well,
have 63s,
I haven't
64s?
considered that. I wasn't going to go to tomorrow's game, but I might have to change my plans.
Just one of those great stories in the baseball postseason. I don't know how you missed that guy with the green jersey and the dump 61 here, but he was certainly one of the stars in Detroit tonight. But it was the guys on the field that got the job done for the Mariners. 8-4 the final. They'll try to close it out tomorrow night with Bryce Miller as the starter. Here's Bryce after tonight's game.
Named the Game 4 starter.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, ready to go. You know, I haven't thrown in a few days, and it's been a long week. You know, I've threw a couple bullpens and worked on some things, but overall I feel really good and ready to get out there.
How much mentally do you take from what you've seen in the previous 3 games from George, from Logan, from Luis that you can maybe apply to your own game plan going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this team a couple times this year, and I think we were all watching when they played Cleveland, and then we've executed a lot of good pitches and a lot of at bats, you know, the last 3 days, and you know, obviously I've been watching, and I can take a lot from watching those 3 guys. So they all went out and competed and threw really well. So plan on following them up.
Bryce, when we talked to you last, you didn't know if you were going to be pitching in relief, starting. When did you kind of figure out that you might start Game 4? Were there chances where you might relieve? I mean, how's that been? Because you guys all have your routine as well. So how's that been through leading up to this?
It was tentatively the plan, you know, from the beginning. I had, whenever the first game went extras, kind of had a chance to head down there, and then if Game 2 would have gone too long, I would have head to the bullpen as well. But I stayed on schedule, threw a couple bullpens this week, and it was the plan from once we knew Wu, you know, was out, that would probably be the way we go. So it didn't mess with my schedule too much. So most of the week I've been planning on throwing Game 4.
Bryce, obviously the pitching is always a hallmark of the Mariners, but you also have that strength up the middle that everybody talks about. Catcher, shortstop, center field, you know, all elite defenders and elite players. What does that kind of strength up the middle do for a pitching staff?
Yeah, no, it's big. I mean, anytime you have a platinum glove, you know, catcher, that's going to help, and especially when he hits 60 home runs. But no, JP's been great at shortstop all year, and Julio, I don't know how he hasn't had a Gold Glove yet, but I hope it's coming, and I know he's got plenty in his future. So it provides us, you know, a lot of extra confidence knowing, you know, we have the guys behind us and in front of us as well. anything to them, I got full confidence that they're going to make the play. And even there's been plenty of plays in center field where I think I gave up a double or even a home run, and Julio comes out of nowhere and makes a play. So, it's a lot of fun pitching with them behind me.
You said you watched when the Mariners were in the playoffs last time. You were watching it. Where were you watching it at, and what have you learned just in watching these games in person versus watching them on TV?
Yeah, I was watching from home. It looked like Seattle was a amazing environment. It looked like a lot of fun, and I wished I was there. And the last 2 years being a game short, really, it didn't sit well with a lot of us in the clubhouse. But I'm glad we're here. The last 2 years weren't very fun, and we knew we were better than how we performed, and this is where we expected to be with the staff we have and the lineup we have, and we expected to be here, and it's been a lot of fun, but we got a lot of fun ahead.
All right, Bryce, thanks for coming in.
Yep.
So a huge opportunity for Bryce Miller tomorrow night as he gets the rock in Game 4 in Detroit to try to close out the series and get the Mariners to the American League Championship Series for just the 4th time in their history. You give Detroit fans and Mariners fans a lot of credit sitting through that 3-hour delay today in Detroit, but just across the street at T-Mobile Park, there was a watch party for the Mariners fans, and you got to give them credit as well because they sat through that thing waiting for that game to finally start, and when it did, it was a lot of fun. Here's Alex McClune at the ballpark.
I'm not sure anybody beats us, and it's one of the biggest on the West Coast as well.
It's all hands on deck for the team controlling Mariners vision and the bells and whistles of T-Mobile Park. 7 cameras, multiple directors, and the manager of video board operations, Josh St. Germain, are tasked with bringing the energy of the Mariners from 2,300 miles away.
We're going to try to keep it, pretty simple, but also make sure the fans get excited and kind of treat it like an actual true Mariners game, even though they're not here.
From the control room, Josh's team runs everything from the hype clips to the light show that brings the park to life.
They seem to know what to do to keep the crowd moving.
Yeah, this is heavy. The Mariners are bringing the home game energy to T-Mobile Park. You can get a picture with the Trident. The other one's in Detroit. Past the concessions and in the stands, Mariner moose is loose and salmon are off and running. Hundreds hunkered down between first and third for a midday game.
Great to finally be back in the postseason. I'm looking forward to a new banner up there.
Bars like Westie's are also banking on a deep run. They're ordering another round of Trident t-shirts to keep up with demand.
I mean, the crowd turnout's been great. I mean, we've been filling up and people have been excited about it. So, I mean, even with all the Sunday Night Football stuff, it was all kind of Mariners action crowd. So the football was definitely kind of secondary to the Mariners playoffs. So
from the bars to the ballpark, all eyes are on the M's.
Let's go Mariners.
This team deserves it.
I'm not going to quote Cal Raleigh, but you know what I mean.
Alex McClune at T-Mobile Park as the Mariners fans are hoping their team can get one more win to reach the ALCS. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching this special Mariners postgame show. I'm Paul Silvi, and this is King 5 Plus.